Well, this year's Rose Festival Grand Floral Parade will include 12 full-size 45-foot floats.
In today's Behind the Wheel, Tony chose one of them for a turn in the driver's seat.
When it comes to driving a float, there's one thing that everyone needs to know.
You need to know how to do what I tell you to do. That is the most important thing.
Pearls of wisdom from Drake Dryden, who along with his associate Brandon are here to guide me turn by turn. Because the first thing you realize when you're driving a float is that you can't see where you're going.
All right, you good, Tony?
I'm good.
And so it's exactly like your car, only not. Just remember, close your eyes.
They figure since you can't see where you're going anyway, you may as well close your eyes. But no way I'm doing that. Not at these speeds.
Usually about 3 miles an hour, a nice walking pace.
3?
With your eyes closed, 3 miles an hour seems very fast. Because we don't go fast, you don't need a giant motor, but you need proper gearing.
The gears are automatic, by the way, and although this particular float isn't even close to fully decorated, one thing it won't be getting is power steering.
When you turn this wheel an inch here, because this float has a long front end, that can move several feet.
Another thing this float lacks, besides power steering, are seat belts.
I've never felt like, as a driver, that I needed one. Okay. So if you're doing something that makes you think you need one, we're gonna have a conversation.
And as glorious as they may look on the outside when they're all done and decked out, the interior of a float is pretty grim. Think old burlap sack with a drive shaft running right through it.
It's smoky in here.
To account for the poor visibility, float drivers rely on verbal commands from guides who walk alongside, hand signals, and tricks of the trade.
And sometimes, from the driver's point of view, you can put the white line where you can see it, and then you can just look at the ground and follow the white line going down the road.
Can you use the horse droppings for reference as your...
They're a little sporadic. You definitely know when you found them.
The big takeaway here is that float driving is a team sport, and it's way harder than it looks.
You've landed.
Oh my God, high fives, brothers. Nice. I didn't hit anything. There we have it. If you had to rate my driving skills of the float, what do you say? 10 out of 10? What?
I'm gonna give you a 6.
6, okay.
That's all right.
Good teamwork, though. Appreciate the help, man. All right, that's a lot of fun. Thanks, you guys. All right.
Come do it for us for the parade.
Okay.
Do it for real.
Meantime, keep this thing off the road. I'm Tony Martinez, Fox 12, Oregon. This is not street legal at all. Not even close.
It does feel very Fred Flintstone-ish,
Yes.
you know,
Yes,
when you
primitive.
see the...
But you really, I mean, but on a serious note,
cabin.
they have to really pay attention to what people, because you could ram right into the person in front of you.
I mean, you know, if you ever use technology, sometimes the walkie-talkie doesn't have a battery, whatever, so they have to use hand signals. So it gets pretty complicated.
It's crazy.
But these guys are so experienced. Both Brandon and Drake have been doing this for like 20 years, so they know what's going down. So
if something happens along the Grand Floral Parade route, you can just step in and help, right?
Yeah,
you know,
trained
excuse me,
professional.
could you step aside?
Yeah, it's funny. I guess in the old days, none of them had power steering. Most of them do now, but they also used to have a manual transmission.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
Oh
no.
Crazy.
Yeah. Is that why they sometimes were lurching
The
down?
clutch in the...
But I'm guessing it just has one gear since you're just going through.
Well, it has several because it's
but-
geared down because it's so heavy. It doesn't go fast, but it's so heavy. And of course, if you have, you know, the rose court on there, and all strapped on, all 12 people, whatever, you gotta be very, very
and they all
cautious,
have cruise control, so that's nice.
There you go.